Good afternoon. Those of you who are still in line, it's okay to put more food on your plate. Hi, Danny. Danny's still in line. Put as much food on your plate as you want, but we need to get, love the enthusiasm. Okay, leading us in the Pledge of Allegiance at four-way test today, Leanne Marshall.
Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the
flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And now the four-way test of the things we think, say, or
and do. Is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendships? Will it be beneficial to all concerned?
Thank you. You may be seated, but if you're a Rotarian with a visitor, please remain standing.
Good afternoon, everyone. Today we have a couple of our exchange students with us, and it's kind of obvious we're sitting at the birthday table, and there's a good reason for that. Valentin's birthday is today, so we wanted to bring him here. He could share his birthday with all of us here at the club. Lele could not be here today. It's her birthday in September as well, but she had some school issues, so she wasn't able to make it. But I'd like to let them tell you guys a little bit about what they've been doing so far this year.
Hello, I'm Valentine. So, for me, the year I had a great start. I can play football at my high school. Nice. We played really well, I think. And I had a great family who is hosting me. I want to thank you for that I can be a year here at Boulder.
Hello. My name is Noah. I am 16 years old and I'm from Austria. I like riding bikes and I'm in the Fairview bike team, and the school year's so far pretty good.
Hi, I'm Frank, and I've got a friend with me and client here today is Nick Antley. He recently was a bit down on his luck, had a suicide attempt, and came to me to my nonprofit to help him get his life back on track. I run an Outreach for the Finish Line nonprofit where I help people in this type of situation. Anyway, he's a really great guy trying to get into a better group of people, and I couldn't think of anybody else to introduce him to that were better than you guys. So anyway.
Hi, I'm Norma Portnoy. This is my friend Stu Dolnick from Madison, Wisconsin, and when he visits me, he volunteers for several activities associated with Rotary.
Hi, my guest today is Howard Bernstein. I met Howard at the Jaipur Festival dinner on Friday night, and before we did our presentation on Saturday. And Howard is very active with he's a attorney, a local attorney and CPA, and he's real active with the Jaipur Festival and other arts organizations around town, and he's having a look at Rotary. So please welcome Howard.
And this is Scott from Golden.
I'm Scott Brown with Golden Rotary, and I'm being unfaithful to my club today. And I came here to see what all the smart people are doing. So thank you.
Hi. I am very lucky today to get to introduce Judy, whom I've known probably 30 years, and I still stumble over her last name. But I'm going to say Mobley, and she's nodding. So practice when you meet her, and I'm delighted to have her here today. Her job is manufacturing water bottles, and I can't imagine anything more usable and needed in our lives than really good water and good Judy. And I'm really, really happy to have you. We've known each other a very long time, so it's great, great, great to have you here. Thanks. This is not, I don't know how legal this is. I forgot to ask. But, you know, the fact that she's running, it's okay? Okay. So she's running for?
State House, District 13.
State House, District 13. I was 14, so she was 13, and they've changed since I was in. But I just wanted you to know that. I forgot to ask how legal that is to do here.
Hi, my guest today is Matthew Falcone, who is a graduate student at the University of Colorado, working on a PhD in
global engineering.
And Matthew is also a member of our Rotaract Club there, and he's here today to tell us a little bit about the networking event coming up on October 25th. So if you have a minute to stop and talk to him about that event, that would be great.
Our new neighbor and friend, Julie Stermazzi, is our guest today. Julie is a former international trade attorney and also a former entrepreneur. She had her own design business. And she's relocated from Massachusetts to the Boulder area just 3 weeks ago. She has 3 sons. They're all in college. And she's exploring employment opportunities in this area, either in international law or perhaps design or education. And anyway, we're pleased she's joining us today.
Thank you so much.
Hi, thank you. I'm just delighted today to introduce my guest, Karen DeBartolome. And Karen has lived a lot of different places. As she says, I was an Army brat. When she lived in New York, she actually worked in the Twin Towers. While she lived in Washington, D.C., she was a White House fellow in the Reagan administration, working with the U.S. Trade Ambassador. She moved to Colorado when her husband came to accept a job as teaching economics at the university. And she has just recently retired as the founding member of World Denver. It's an organization that works through education, group level, professional exchange. So, welcome.
I'd like to introduce my 2 best friends that I've met within the last 30 minutes. That's a Darryl Brown line. Lorraine is a mother of an inbound and outbound student, or outbound and inbound to France, and has worked with Chad and others. And she has a life beyond being a mother, of course. And then her friend, Lori, who is involved in prison reform efforts. Is that fair? So you can ask them more about their life history beyond just these couple of quick minutes. Welcome to them both.
Good afternoon. I'm here representing Bill Rubin, and I have with me today Adi Malhotra. He is recently completed his experience at RILA this summer, and he is a junior at Peak to Peak High School. And I asked him what was one word that would explain his experience at RILA. It's hyphenated, so we're saying it's one word. He said life-changing. So I'm going to hand it over to him and tell us.
So I went to RILA this summer, and I picked the word life-changing to describe my experience, because it truly was a life-changing experience, because I was put into a group of 12 people I didn't know at all. Like, I barely knew their names the second day, and like I was starting to get to know them a little more. And then as we progressed more throughout the camp, I was able to develop such a deep bond and relationship with all these people on my team. And it was the bonds that I created with them are like honestly, I think stronger than some of the people that I go to school with. And that was just like, I thought was like, how can like only 5 or 6 days, like how do I develop a relationship in this much time? And I was like, Ryla was the only way to do it. I don't think I could have done it any other way.
Hi, we're facing the camera. And our speaker. I want to introduce Annie Sanchez. Annie actually arrived in Boulder as a new resident of Boulder 4 days ago. She arrived on Monday. We've been friends for a number of years. She came from Puerto Rico. Annie was a survivor of Hurricane Maria. And actually, recently I was writing an article for Medium on the internet, and I included a paragraph from something she had written about the acts of compassion that emerged among the people and what she discovered, the lessons that she gained from surviving for many months, 6 months without normal food and housing and things like that. Annie actually is, prior to coming here a few days ago, administrator for family nutrition in Puerto Rico. So she has vast experience in that area. And prior to that, 2 generations back, she was PR director for governor of Puerto Rico. She's serving us as a consultant and assisting on our programs that we are excited to be developing right now, and we're happy to have her consulting with us. Thank you. Annie Sanchez.
Hi. I am proud to welcome our oldest son, Eric Kurtz, here today, who lives in Denver. He is a senior budget analyst for the Joint Budget Committee of the Colorado State Legislature, here to hear his father speak about the 50 state capitals.
Welcome to y'all, and Scott from Golden, I hope do we have someone else?
I've missed somebody.
Okay.
I'm a red badge.
To look in the camera, Deborah. Hi, it's my pleasure to welcome Deborah Simmons, my very good friend, and she is the founder of the Reentry Initiative, helping women who are coming out of incarceration. Please welcome Deborah.
Well, Scott, I guess I let you down. I know you came here to see smart people, and I just, Anyway, all right, a couple of announcements. If you don't know, CU had a stirring victory against Arizona State last Saturday night late. We have the tickets for the next home game up for auction to raise money for our scholarship funds. And the game's on October 5th, Saturday at 2:30 against the University of Arizona. The Coot Lake cleanup event that we've been advertising in the Rib and that I know 30 or 40 of you are going to show up for tomorrow has been canceled. So you get to sleep in. Apparently there's a marathon going on around the Coot Lake area, so the city canceled it. Next week, we get our annual visit from our district governor, Kurt Harris. And Kurt and I discussed whether he should have a whole program or just 5 or 10 minutes, and we agreed on 10 minutes. And then, so Kurt will speak to us for 10 minutes, and then he's gonna stick around for the music program, and I encourage all of you to be here for that. Tomorrow and Sunday is the Denver American Indian Festival in Thornton. We will have our club will have a booth there at this event. My understanding is it's around Colorado Boulevard and 128th Avenue in Thornton. Runs from 9 to 6 tomorrow, 12 to 6 on Sunday. If you can stop by, please do so. Next up, Randy Butler with a little brief report on last weekend's International Day of Peace festivities.
Thanks, John. I'll do my best to make it brief. Thank you to those of you who came last Saturday afternoon. Am I a little too close to that microphone? To the Rotary Peace Building Program that we had the privilege of doing at the Jaipur Literature Festival in the main library. We started the program with talking about our commitment as both Rotary International, this club, and our committee to building sustainable peace, and then showed the Rotarian Action Group for Peace video that many of you, I think, have seen in a meeting maybe a year or so ago, Peace Is, which is a really inspirational video. Sam Pottinger introduced Dorothy Rupert as the first winner of the Jim Swaby Peace Award, and Dorothy spoke briefly. Charlotte Rome told the audience about enhancements to the International Peace Garden and the creation of the Infinite Walk of Peace, and did that with members of the Sister City Alliance standing in the background, representatives of Ramat Hanegev in Israel, and Gary Kahn talked about the sculptures we're going to put in place, and thank you Bob Zevers and Gordon Gam, who are donating those sculptures, and Gordon and Bob were there. And then, most significantly, Gary took the audience through an interactive process using a QR code that you can hit with your camera on your phone, so that they could provide to the city some feedback on the desirability of those sculptures in the Sister City Alliance. So it gave us an opportunity to get that feedback. And then, but I got to tell you, the folks that stole the show were brought by Jancy Campbell, two young students from Whittier Elementary who read their writings that are included in the new book just recently published, Fourth Graders Write About Peace, as part of our Centennial Project in this Peace Garden project. And finally, at the end, right after the program, Sanjay Roy, who's the managing director of the production company that is responsible for putting on the festival, rushed up to me, threw his arms around me, and basically said, "This was an amazing program, and we want to do this more often. We want to do two things. We want to show that video all over the world at the festivals." And I forget, Jesse can probably tell me the actual number, but I think there's, 32 festivals all over the world, something like that? Every year all over the world. So, and then he also said that this is a great beginning to our partnership with Jaipur Literature Festival, and he wants to talk to us about doing an entire segment of the festival on peace building next year. So, thank you, John.
Thanks, Randy. TK Smith is hot to trot because we have some Paul Harris Fellows we want to recognize today.
Thank you. We're going to do Paul Harris Fellows a little bit different this year. We're going to honor them and recognize them at our meetings, maybe 3 or 4 times during the year. So with that in mind, would the following folks please come up to the stage? Randy Butler, NCW, Nancy Chen Wagner, Marilyn Terrell, Alessandro Sachs, John Rieger, and Hank Lopez. And while they're coming up, I want you to see a video. We often think of Rotary going to far-off places to provide service, but sometimes the far-off places come to where we are. So.
Und das ist hier eine typische Notunterkunft. Na, hallo. Wir haben jetzt eine Infoveranstaltung hier über das deutsche Gesundheitssystem. Hi. Ich bin Pia Skarabis-Querfeld. Ich bin Ärztin und Rotarierin aus Berlin-Tiergarten. Ich denke, die wichtigste Motivation ist immer noch humanitär. Menschen zu helfen, die sonst durchs Raster fallen, denen sonst niemand hilft. Ich habe das Projekt 2014 gestartet. Eigentlich wollte ich Kleidung abgeben in einer Turnhalle und habe dann dort kranke Kinder gesehen und habe gemerkt, diese Menschen brauchen viel mehr als nur Kleidung. Allein in Berlin im Jahr 2015 1000 Erkrankte. Da war es oft so, dass an bestimmten Hotspots einfach Ärzte hingegangen sind, wo man wusste, am Bahnhof oder am Lageso. Und zu der Zeit haben wir auch immer Leute gesucht, die organisieren.
Es gab viele Ärzte, die helfen wollten, aber wenig Ärzte, die auch Verantwortung tragen wollten.
I think there's so many reasons to be proud of what Rotary does around the world, and a Paul Harris is a nice way to recognize the kind of contribution and generosity. You should all yearn to be a Paul Harris Fellow or multiple Paul Harris Fellow. So we're going to start with, we have two first Paul Harris Fellows, Randy Butler. Nancy Chin Wagner, is she hiding? No, she's here, okay. So these are our first Paul Harris Fellows for each of them, and Deborah Kelly's going to hand out their certificates and their pins. So thank you very much. And next up are some Paul Harris 2. Now, Alessandro Sachs, he's a very fast mover. He gets his Paul Harris 1 and his Paul Harris 2 today, so congratulations and thank you. I think you'll have the hardware here. And Marilyn Terrell, also Paul Harris number 2, so thank you, Marilyn. Great work. John Rieger hiding there. Another Paul Harris number 2, so thank you, John. Congratulations. Come on up, Hank. Hank Lopez did two things I want to recognize and thank Hank for. First of all, his Paul Harris +4, which is an outstanding achievement. But Hank did a very nifty thing in establishing a Paul Harris memorial pin for his recently deceased wife, Crystal. So thank you so much for that, Hank, and congratulations. Thank you.
Please give one more round of applause for all of these people because they were very generous in giving of some of their treasure to the Rotary International Foundation. And thank you. Next up, we have a transition from red badge to blue. Jim Umland and Judy Harriet and Dorothy Rupert. Again, you're everywhere. Come on up. Oh.
Okay, Judy was sponsored by Dorothy back in January, February of this year, and it's my pleasure to reintroduce Judy today. She's lived in Boulder for just over 20 years, where she raised her 2 children and has been active in a lot of volunteer work in our community. Most recently, her main focus has been with political campaigns. She's always desired to affect positive experiences for people and felt this could best be served in the area where so many people spend much of their lives, in the workplace. Thus, after getting an MBA from the University of Iowa, she made her career in human resources, where she worked for many years with Computer Sciences Corp of Silver Spring, Maryland. She has continued her interest in serving our community, and that, as well as a desire to surround herself with like-minded individuals, inspired her to join the Boulder Rotary Club. Since her induction in February, she has become engaged in 4 of our external-facing service groups, formerly known as committees, and she's initiated an informal committee where Boulder Rotarians and friends and families can have fun together by getting free tickets to Rockies games. And I guess you've already arranged for several of these outings for next year. So good for us. So welcome, glad you're here, and thank you, Dorothy, for your sponsorship.
Actually, they've threatened to turn off the mic if I say more than one sentence. So I just want to tell you, I'd love to have you get acquainted with Judy. And she is one of the most congruent people I know. She says who she is, and she does what she is, and she is who she is.
All right, easy there, huh? All right, let's it's always good to have another WYSIWYG in the club. All right, get out your raffle tickets and your flashlights. And here is today's, oh, there we go, winning number. 8386590. Well, okay then. Oh, there we go. Nancy Pilica is today's big, oh, it's Judy. Wow, you're double dipping today too. Congratulations. All right. We're celebrating birthdays today, and the newest George Russell impersonator, Frank Deck, is here to show us.
So I'm not actually sure why George asked me to be on the birthday committee. I'm guessing maybe the hat, mustache. Definitely not my singing voice. I can't give anything like that. The other couple, was it 2 weeks ago? Anyway, he said to keep them short and funny. So I'm going to say an anecdote about my friend who stepped out of the room. What I didn't mention about him is he's a mechanic and does construction, and he's been helping me out at my house too. As I've been helping him, he's been staying there, and I keep calling him the flat earther. And he keeps looking at me, he's like, man, I'm just running your bulldozer.
Okay. Fred, have you got my PowerPoint ready? No? Okay. I'll keep it short. I can't tell you how wonderful it is to be working with so many wonderful people on building sustainable peace. Thank you.
That's the only Rotarian birthday today? Yes.
No. I feel terrible because I've been talking in front of you for most of this, and I don't have any favorite state capitals to share with you. But as someone who has just been here a couple months now, I just want to say I turned 40 and I've never felt younger. And I want to just pass a special thanks on to my sponsor here, Gary, who brought me here in the first place. And this is going to be the best fourth decade of my life.
Happy birthday. Next, I can only summarize it this way. They're back with a video.
Hello, Rotarians and guests, and thank you for being here today. Sorry for our absence last week, but hey, I did want to point out to you that the Rotary Foundation has a 4-star rating from the Charity Navigator for the 12th straight year in a row.
Like being a Rotarian, it leaves the world so clean and fresh.
Just like a shower with my Irish Spring.
And Boulder Rotary and Rotary International has 6 areas of focus. In these green and white stripes, to leave the world a better place. Rotary International.
And Rotary connects the world, and we love it too.
Feeling clean and fresh. A long,
Boulder
long
Rotary
time.
leaves you clean and fresh.
We hope you enjoyed this blast from the past. The honor flight took off on September 15th, and our very own Scott Stalker was aboard. There were 120 veterans on the trip, and thank you to CU Rotaract for their donations to make this possible. Thank you to all Boulder Rotary Clubs for their contributions and help.
Hey, and speaking of the CU Rotaract Club, their next meeting is next Wednesday, October 2nd in the Benson Earth Sciences Building, room 185 from 6:30 to 7:45. See Andy Meyer if you have any questions or you're interested in attending.
Last chance to start reading the newcomers. The book club meeting's on October 14th.
Tomorrow we have a chance to clean up, rake, seed, and fence off some social trails at Coot Lake in Longmont, Colorado. That's tomorrow, 9 a.m. to noon. Talk to Kathy Oliver if you're interested.
The Denver American Indian Festival organizers have invited our World Community Service Committee to have a booth at the festival this weekend. If you're interested in volunteering at the World Community Service booth, contact Juliet Harrington or Alessandro Sachs.
Well, that wasn't the Rotary bell ringing, but it was Rotarians toasting each other at the next Boulder Rotary Club Happy Hour. It's at Via Perla, Tuesday, October 8th at 4:30 p.m. We'll see you there.
Water, sanitation, and hygiene. The next District Wash Symposium will be held on October 5th at the Denver Public Works Building. If you have questions or want more information, please talk to Charlotte.
The following message is a 2020 signature event, save the date, and pre-announcement.
Hi all Rotarians, this is Kitty and I would love to invite all of you to our signature event on Saturday, February 8th in 2020, starting at 5:30 p.m. at the St. Julian Hotel. Anything you would like to do to help with this effort, please contact me.
All right, Kitty.
And next week's program, we're going to have the district governor here, so come meet Kurt Harris.
Don't miss it, or him.
Autumn or fall?
Well, if you look at this, we'd prefer the term autumn. Everybody, have a great weekend.
Thank you, Daryl and Sally. It's great to have you back. And just so we're clear, there is no Coot Lake cleanup tomorrow, but if you want to run a marathon out there, I think you're welcome. So I want to thank some people who helped out with our meeting today. Past President Greeter Norris Hermsmeyer, Red Badge Greeter, and responder Jonathan Singer. Member and guest registration, Alessandro Sachs, Sue Lounsbury and Judy Pitt. Scholarship raffle woman, Kathy Olivier. And our audio visual team, Fred Hull, Grant Hickman, Lynn Johnson, and Bob Taylor. Thanks for being here. Meeting adjourned.